1061 with a -6. Hey, how's it going, everyone? So I'm out here in the mountains just doing the shooting portion of the brass that I am trying to review, the Lapua 300 PRC. But before we dive into that, if you're new to my channel, it would be awesome if you could hit that subscribe button. I'd greatly appreciate it. So let's dive in. This is a review. Try to keep it kind of brief, but it's of the 300 PRC made by Lapua. They are also now offering a 300 Win Mag brass. And also, if you love the 300 PRC, you're definitely going to enjoy the 6.5 PRC as well. Lapua brass has amazing quality control. And I think one of my favorite parts about Lapua brass is that you have such consistent neck tension as long as you don't over anneal your necks. And if you are over annealing them, use Temple Lac. They'll save your save you so much money. But anyways, ever since I switched to using Lapua brass, my SDs and my ES have gone completely, like, so much better. For the low that you guys saw for the intro of this video where I was shooting 1061, I think it was, I got an SD of 5 and an extreme spread of 14. And that's just consistent. Well, across the board, I've shot, I shoot the 260 Remington Lapua brass, and same thing. You know, SD's well below 10. Sometimes the extreme spreads are well below 10. So yeah, that's probably one of my favorite things about Lapua brass. All right, so let's just take you back to the reloading room. I'm gonna show you the overall weight of the brass, show you guys the consistency of that, and then go into a little bit of the reloading / load development process. And go from there. All right, so here's the brand new 300 PRC brass made by Lapua. I am super pumped for this stuff. I have been really excited to give this a shot. I only use Lapua brass through my 260 Remington, and that does fantastic. All right, so I'm gonna start off with measuring 10 random cases here, and I'll write them down in my notes, and then give you guys all an average with an extreme spread, and put it on the screen right here. All right, so I've got 10 measured out here, and the average comes out to 254.688 grains, and the extreme spread was 1.96 grains. And the reason for that was there was this outlier here that measured in at 253.66 grains. And, you know, I didn't see any other ones that were of that weight, but basically, that one was basically almost a full grain below the other averages. So I think that with that being said, you know, it's definitely around 1 grain variance with all the brass, except for that one. So pretty good. All right, so to start out, guys, I'm gonna run all this brass through my resizing die, and all I'm going to do is I'm going to resize the necks, and the necks only, without any kind of lube or anything. Just gonna run the die or the brass up into the die and back down like that. And that is just going to expand any imperfections from any of the dings that brought the neck in. Essentially just take it out, and at the same time, any kind of neck tension imperfections is gonna be adjusted all to the same with the die that I have. So just gonna run them all like that. All right, you ready?
Yep.
Going out. You see it?
I couldn't see it, but...
Did you hear it?
Huh?
Did you hear it?
No.
I hit it.
Did you?
Yep.
I'm kind of half deaf and half blind.
It's all good. It's all good. Hit. Impact. All right, so this shot here today was a cold bore shot. There's no gimmickry going on. I have nothing to prove to you guys. I'm just trying to become a better shooter myself. So the bullet I'm shooting is the Berger 200.20X CCI 200 primer and the Lapua brass. All I'll say is I'm using the H1000 powder. I'm not gonna give you guys my powder charge weight because I want you guys to figure that out for yourselves. But yeah, it's a really good shooter. The bullet is made for a 308 Winchester, but man, out of the 300 PRC, it's a laser beam. So I'm excited to keep using it, and eventually I'm going to come out with a video review specifically for that. All right, so here's kind of my final thoughts on the Lapua brass for the 300 PRC. First, to start off, the primer pockets I noticed are a little easier to prime than any other Lapua brass I've ever used. And I don't think that's a bad thing. The only thing is that I'm going to be concerned, you know, long term, how does that primer pocket hold up to reloading. For those that do use Lapua brass, you know that the first couple primings, man, that primer pocket, it takes a lot of effort to put a primer in. So the 300 PRC is a little bit less, and I like it. I hope that that's going to be a new thing. The next is the weight variance of the brass. I was shocked to see that it was almost 2 grains in the variance. Now, if you take out the extremes, it's like 1.2 grains of weight variance, and that's honestly quite amazing when you're talking, you know, 255 grains to only have 1 grain variance or 1.2 grain variance. I have shot Hornady brass and ADG brass, and that's about on par. The Hornady brass had a little bit more, but the ADG brass was right around 1.5 to 2 grains of variance as well. So the Lapua is right in there. For the 260 Remington that I normally always shoot, Lapua brass is much better than that. So I don't think that it truly matters. However, yeah, you know, for some of you that might matter, and you might have to weight sort, but for me, it doesn't matter. And I'm making really good impacts at 1,000 yards or a little over 1,000 yards, and that's good enough for me. I've already kind of touched on the velocities. So the SDs and the extreme spreads, I think that all across the board, if you're using Lapua brass, you could expect tight velocities. The key to that though is, you know, having good powder charge weights and knowing how to develop a load. You know, everyone's kind of on the hype of the Satterley load. That's what I use. I use a modified Satterley load that I also use information from Eric Cortina and Scott Satterley, and also information from Precision Rifle Blog about bullet seating depth. And this bullet, the Berger 200.20X, I'm jumping at 160 thousandths from my lands. And as you guys saw, I had good hits. Now, annealing the necks. I would say that a lot of new reloaders fry their brass. I know I'm guilty of it. I fried all of my necks when I was kind of starting out, and I would have really inconsistent velocities, not realizing that a lot of that comes down to proper neck tension. So I use a full length bushing die. I always full length resize to 2 thousandths of shoulder bump and about 3 thousandths of neck tension. A lot of people say do 2. I do 3 thousandths. I like a little bit tighter of a neck. And yeah, I mean, as long as you don't over anneal, this Lapua brass, man, like with a 2 thousandths bump and a 3,000 neck, out of my 260 Remington, man, I've had over 20 reloadings for some of that brass. And so I only expect the same for this Lapua brass. And the cool part is that the primer pockets always stay tight for Lapua brass. the SDs and ESs always stay tight. So I don't know what it is exactly that they do, but man, they got it right. All right, so if you like Lapua brass, be sure to check out their new 300 Win Mag brass as well as the PRC. Again, I just want to put a little bit of a plug for the 6.5 PRC. If I didn't have my 260 Remington, I definitely would build a rifle in the 6.5 PRC. I think it's a great all-around caliber. It has so much potential, and to me, at this point where I'm at in life, like, I will only shoot calibers that Lapua makes brass for, because I personally I will not shoot any other brass. Can I? Absolutely. Can I still make good hits and all that? But man, it's just one of those things where when you're reloading, the brass is one of the things that you spend so much time on, and if you go through a whole reloading, brass prep session, and the end result of that is that you have inconsistent velocities and inconsistent hits at range, man, it's just so frustrating to me. So I would recommend you guys do the same thing. All right, so thanks for watching, everyone. Again, if you're new, please hit that subscribe button. Leave a comment down below. Let me know if you have any questions about what I'm doing here, or any kind of videos or reviews that you guys want to see in the future. Yeah, I'd appreciate it. I'm just trying to have fun with this channel, so subscribe, tag along. I'm gonna teach you guys a little bit of stuff, hopefully, and if not, just enjoy watching me shoot and enjoy my life. So thanks again, guys. I'll see you next time.